Coming up, an insider tip on how to find and pair items to create a complete high value set. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Denise, and today we're going to be talking about one of my most recent finds that I absolutely adore. And these are these 1930s bale and wire glass canning jars. I absolutely am obsessed with these. Now, when I initially purchased these, they didn't have the lids. Okay, they came just like this without the lids, and they don't have much value that way. But through a little bit of clever resourcing and some matchmaking, I was able to not only find some clear lids, but also some of the highly collectible blue lids. I managed to turn these into a complete collection, mixing and matching here. And so let's dive right in, and I'll show you exactly how I did it. It all started at a local thrift store where I spotted these 30 glass canning jars in boxes from the 1930s. There are the classic Atlas and ball jars with the bale and wire closures, and they were in perfect condition. The only problem was, as I said, no lids, but at just $5 for the entire lot, I couldn't pass them up. Even without the lids, these jars are absolutely gorgeous. Thick, thick glass, and it's very sparkly and clear. The embossed on the outside, this one says ball, this one says Atlas, and they really are so, so gorgeous, and they're highly collectible. I knew to maximize their value, though, I needed to go find some of these lids. Fast forward now a couple of weeks, and I stumbled upon a gem of a listing on Facebook Marketplace. I could not believe it. Talk about setting an intention. 40 vintage canning jar lids from the 1930s for just $40. That's $1 per lid. I ran to the computer to pay for these, and I ended up picking them up a day later. Honestly, I could not believe my luck. This just doesn't always happen this way. I ended up finding the lids that I needed, the exact style to match my jars. So my $5 investment in the jars and then more for the lids at $40, I now had 30 complete vintage canning jars for only $45. Once I had both the jars and the lids, it was time to marry them together. I cleaned each one thoroughly to bring out the shine and carefully matched the lids to the jars. The result? A stunning collection of 1930s canning jars that look like they've been together forever. These jars are endlessly versatile. As I mentioned, you can use them to can with if you want to, or you can use them as decor. I use them in my bathroom for Q-tips and also cotton balls. I use them in the kitchen for dried goods, rice, macaroni, and these are quart, so they'll hold quite a bit. You can also use them just for decor. A lot of girls use it for their weddings. That's how I happen to sell these, is I photographed them. I'll show you here on my eBay store, and I photographed them as if they could be used for decor, and ultimately that's how they ended up selling. So while the original lids did not come with these jars, as long as the lids are authentic to the era, they're not chipped up, and they work, I really don't see any problem with reusing the lids. These ones were an absolute perfect fit, and I felt so lucky to get them. Um, Most buyers and collectors won't have a problem with this as long as they're authentic to the era and they're in good working order. So let's talk about the numbers. My total investment was $45. That's 5 for the jars and 40 for the lids. These jars sell anywhere between, with the lids, anywhere between $15 and $40 each, depending on the buyer and the condition. Even if I were to sell these on the low end, my 40, that would have been $450. I haven't sold them all, but I've sold many of them. And on the higher end at $40 each, that would have been $1,200. So that's not bad for a little thrift store item and some kind of clever little marrying with these particular little lids. All right, so what do you think? Would you have taken a chance and bought all of these without the lid? Let me know in the comments what you think, if you would have gone for it or not. And if you enjoyed this little story, don't forget to subscribe, like, or comment. And that's it for now. I'm off to fill my jars up, and I will talk to you next time.